Hello, everyone, and welcome to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path. My name is Travis. My pronouns are he and they, and I will be your game master for the evening as we return to the frozen continent of Fenrilik for Season 3, Episode 4 of Sins of Shelzar. When last we met, our adventurers had fought a few frost giants in the remains of what they think might have been a lesser frost titan. Those remains did seem to respond to blood, but fortunately the party was able to prevent any reanimation of that tissue. However, I do believe one of you took off with some of it. Is that correct?
It was me.
Excellent.
We're making it into an axe, I think.
Yes, that is correct.
And I have the remainder, like the shavings or whatever's left of, the bone.
And after you made your way a safe distance, you went ahead and rested in the sanctum. Now, I believe I gave you all. Did I not give you all experience at the end of the last? Did you not level just recently?
Yeah, we should be 11 now.
Correct. Yeah. So let's go ahead and go around real quick and have everyone introduce themselves. Tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, anything you would care to promote, and what you picked up when you reached the 11th level. And let's start that process off with, let's do Corey first. Please give us your pertinence.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Corey Frang, a.k.a. Narf on the interwebs. I'm playing Charlong, both of us, they, them. And on my 11th level, I got access to 6th level spells.
Excellent.
On Sorcerer, and we now have a Chain Lightning that can be transmuted into any elemental damage I want it to
be. That's going to come in handy. Yeah,
and I can twin it too.
It's pretty sick. Next up, we have Ithrin. Please give us all your pertinence.
Hello, my name is Rachel. I am Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet. And I am playing Ithrin, the perpetually hungry, not thirsty, hungry, druid/cleric.
Excellent. And what did you grab for your 11th level?
I took a 7th level in druid, so I'm druid 7, cleric 4.
Beautiful. Excellent. And did that give you any cool new widgets to play with?
Couple extra spell slots. I think I get all the cool stuff next level.
That's fair. Excellent. Next up, we have Nolo. Please give us your pertinence.
I am Mike Mutant, he, him, playing Nolo, also he, him. Playing a Nolo is a chronoturgy wizard. So I got another level of some spells, so I got some more time and gravity things I can do, and a bunch of other cool stuff.
Nice. Love it. Next up, Charlie, please give us your pertinence.
My name is Sarah, Shire number she, her. I'm playing Charlie, she, her. I don't know. I don't know what I took. You could have asked me 5 minutes later, I wouldn't have known. I just do it and it's done. So I looked, I was like, something will look unfamiliar. Nope.
So you took whatever being 11th level as a bard gives you.
Yep.
That's fair. Excellent. And last but not least, Lulu, please give us your pertinence.
Hi, I'm Allie. I'm playing Lulu. We're both she, her. And I am on the same page as Sarah because I don't have any idea what I took.
And you just went up another level.
It's going to be a surprise.
Correct?
I did.
Excellent. All right.
I got something.
Well, I'm certain you did. I would imagine that probably happened. Well, on that bright, shiny note, after getting your night's rest in and, refreshing yourselves for the journey, you once again prepare to step out into the frozen wastes of Fenrilik, continuing your trek toward Kovo Kimmer. I believe Ithrin is serving as the party navigator, correct?
Yes, because we are in the wilderness.
All right, go ahead and give me that survival check, please.
Ooh, 24.
Excellent. You're able to avoid a few pitfalls and hazards as you make your way across the frozen plains for the next several hours. You see some tracks that you believe belong to some sort of a mammoth creature, like perhaps you'd be familiar with them from Albadia. These large, basically hairy elephants. Something that looks like it might be similar, though the tracks seem to be accompanied by large scoops on either side, almost like there's something plowing the snow along them as they're walking.
We
But you
should
do manage
probably avoid that.
Yeah, you managed to go the long way around to miss that. And you eventually come upon, off in the distance, you see some water. Water that seems to be warm enough to be running. Furthermore, beyond it, you can make out a small settlement that is largely comprised of what appear to be like igloo-like structures at the base of some mountainous terrain. Give me just a quarter second to get all your tokens over here. And I assume you're all able to see okay?
Map?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Glorious. Now, getting your hands on fresh drinking water is definitely a boon. I mean, I'm sure it's something that you can probably create magically if you need to, but it never hurts to get some straight from the source. But also there may be trade or other opportunities to get information in the village, or you can go around it. It's up to you. It does seem that this is the only place that looks like you can cross the river without having to ford it or float across or anything like that.
Is it possible to do a little bit of scouting first? Like, sneak around, figure out if they're friendly or not?
Sure. You want to just kind of make a stealth check, try to make your way up that way and see what you can find? Or are you going to rely on any magic to do this? What's your plan?
I don't really have any spells that I think would help with this in particular. Ithrin will make the suggestion to scout. And she's willing to do it, but my stealth is only 2 plus 2, although I do roll with advantage.
I'm going to
My
assume
stealth is
that
+5.
I'm assuming that Alan is still cranky from her last attempt at scouting ahead. And
Yeah, we're not letting
We're not
Someone
letting
keep-
Alan go.
someone keep Holland occupied, like play
Yeah.
dice or something with her.
Yeah, anything but Holland going. Whatever it takes to not let that happen.
I look over at
Love you,
Nolo
Milena.
and the familiar, right? Because you got a flying familiar recently, didn't you?
Yeah, I have an owl. Yeah. Scouts around.
That's on the owl.
That's what you want to do? You want to send the owl to see what's going on over there?
That seems like a good choice.
I like to ask a lore question also, real quick.
Sure.
Since Nolo is from Asherak, and the most of the party here at least has spent like a majority of their time in Shelzar, is it normal for people to be this cautious, like just approaching like a new group, not just be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, you know, and like assuming the worst and things?
No, this seems a little weird to you. People in Asherak are a little clannish, but they aren't like this level of cautious with one another. They tend to just be a little bit more cliquey when they're in mixed areas. But as far as like travelers going to new lands and stuff, it's never this level of caution.
Okay, I'm gonna address that. I'm gonna like, why don't we just go over and say hi? What's all this sneaking around and espionage?
What if they're hostile? What if they try and rob us?
I mean,
Trauma.
we just handled like 30 people like yesterday.
Hey, when we go to say hi to people, it turns out they're weird fucking cultists, all right? Like every
I
time.
mean, maybe I
Then
don't
they
want to
wanna kill
murder
us.
another 30 people if I don't have to.
If they're weird
This
cultists,
is
I'd rather just leave
hilarious.
them alone. Like let's just.
I'm down for murder. I'll go say hi with you.
He seems a little rude to me. I don't know, just sneaking about. Didn't work last time either. We got caught like pretty much immediately.
Well, I'm gonna eyeball Holland on that one.
She says, it was not my fault.
Do you guys want me to sneak up there? I can try to sneak. Or if we're down for, I'm honestly good with either approach. Lulu's down to be one of the first people to go up there.
I mean, if you're walking up, I'm walking up.
Yeah, I don't really care. I mean, it's clearly a settlement of some kind, but like, I don't know. What if
It
it's
may
like,
appreciate the fact that we might have coin for some trade. I don't know.
yeah, but they might have like, I don't know, necromancer for our death. So
No,
may not really be looking for all that.
it's gonna be a long journey.
Are you gonna, in that case, fly the owl over, or are you gonna have Lulu sneak up?
I don't think somebody sneaking up is a good idea for us.
I think maybe I could send the owl with Lulu so that if, something goes on, I can see through the owl's eyes and then give us the go ahead, like, hey, stuff's going down. We need to charge in,
So-
help out Lulu.
So I
mean,
I just gotta paint this picture for you real quick. Okay, so
The
I am
undead
undead.
orc. Yeah.
Yes. You're gonna send me to go say hello. I don't know if they'll like that.
I'm a turtle. She's a rat. She's a cat. I mean, we're an odd group of people.
I am down to try. Let's go. I'll go, Travis.
Alan
I am gonna be friendly.
hands you her hat of disguise.
I don't think I have anything to disguise myself with.
No, that hat of disguise, you pop it on to cast disguise self on you, makes you look human.
Sure. I'll use the hat of disguise. Who has the hat of disguise?
Holland has one.
That's
Hand it to you.
Oh, okay. I will absolutely approach them human looking so I don't terrify the villagers.
All right, and the owl is in pursuit while the rest of you wait across the way.
Yeah.
So Lulu, you make your way up across the bridge. As you're walking across it, it's somewhat slick, but it despite its vaguely rickety looking construction, it feels pretty solid when you step on it. As you make your way toward this rock formation that sort of has been worked into a set of stairs, small guy walks out from behind the rocks. He's about 3.5 feet tall, and his skin looks like ice.
Oh.
His hair has almost the quality of like snow. He is not wearing anything. but has a bandolier that has several pouches on it and a blade on his back. And he shouts something at you in Druidic.
Yep, that I do not speak that. I'll just like I'll speak comment back like I don't know what you're saying.
Okay. He holds up a hand and steps back behind the rocks. You see him go out the other way. He comes through with a woman about the same height, same type hair. She has a pattern painted on her face in like a gray pigment. And she calls out to you in Shelzari. What brings you here, traveler?
What does bring us here? I don't even remember now.
Well, you're on your way to Kovakimmer. Yeah, you're traveling halfway across the continent.
There we go. I'm adventuring across the continent.
She says, "Oh, you must be famished and I would assume cold. Bring your people. We have fresh catch."
I will absolutely not even question her. Guys, they have food.
Are they cannibals?
What? Are you guys cannibals?
What? No, first of all, and secondly, if we were cannibals, we wouldn't eat you.
Thank you.
Good, because I'm very scrawny.
We're not cannibals.
Okay, we've been through some shit, is all.
How to tell if your party has been traumatized? Are you cannibals? That's like.
Yeah.
See, sometimes you just got to come up and say hello and just be polite, and then people, you can't just assume the worst in people.
As y'all make your way,
Tell that to Holland.
As y'all make your way across the bridge, you see several of these folk, all basically the same in terms of general appearance. They're all within 3.5 to 4 feet tall. They all have icy skin, snow-like hair. None of them are wearing any clothing. Many of them have belts that have like tools of their trade hanging from them, but no clothes to speak of. And you can clearly see as you're approaching the village, there are at least 2 areas where there are fish hanging out, seemingly to air out perhaps, or to be prepared to be made ready to cook. You also do notice a rather large like crane over near the water, and they appear to have a well dug.
Do any of us know this type of creature?
You certainly have never encountered one before, but I will let you all make a your choice of Arcana or History roll. If you make Arcana, it's going to be at disadvantage.
If it has anything to do with the plane of water, could I get an advantage of that being sorcerer of the plane of water?
It's not. They're not planar creatures.
22.
I rolled 5.
9.
Excellent. How strange. Give me 1 second. I was seeing all of your rolls in the game log, but I was not seeing the results of your rolls.
Weird.
That's weird.
Excellent. So, Nolo, you've learned about these people in your studies as you were, getting ready to come to Fenrilik. These are what's known as the Eschek. People commonly refer to them as ice gnomes, but that is a misnomer, as they are not actually made of ice, nor are they actually gnomes.
There was a lot of gnome in that paragraph there.
They're indigenous to Fenrilik, and very few of them ever leave its borders, because to do so they need to craft a special magical ring that keeps their body at freezing temperatures to go anywhere that's warmer.
I'll like give the gist of that to the group and be like, "It's so nice to meet you all. Thank you all for having us here."
Of course, we have fresh fish. We were just getting ready to start the midday meal, as a matter of fact. She says, my name is Joan.
Nice to meet you, Joan. I'll hand a gold coin as a thanks for taking us in.
She kind of looks at it funny and says, "Oh, you are the far travelers."
Some farther than others, but yes.
You see a couple of the villagers like nervously make their way back into their igloos.
I assume this is used here. Sorry.
I'm sorry?
I just assume this isn't used here, and I'll just take my coin back if they don't want it.
Says, no, we do not use coin that's of little, metal is of little value to us. But we have ample food. You don't need to worry about compensating us. I must say, though, before we dine together, word of your deeds has made its way here.
Our deeds?
I assume you are the far travelers who destroyed the Flame Bearer settlement to the south.
No comment.
Probably.
Seems we're at a bit of a misunderstanding here.
Are you denying it then? Are you saying you are not those travelers?
Oh, I don't deny. I mean a misunderstanding with them. We came with completely good intentions, and one of our travelers here is not very tactful and may have insulted them by accident.
I see. One of their number came here. They were delirious with hunger and thirst, nearly dead from the elements, which is unusual for their tribe. But we nursed him back to health and sent him on his way. But he told us a tale of wild adventurers from a faraway land who came and pillaged their village.
Wild exaggeration, not our intention at all. We came, again, just looking for directions to Kovakimaru, and again, that one over there pointing towards Alan, not very fond of being told what to do. We're working on it.
I see. Well, as long as you leave any quarrels you have outside of the city boundaries, we have no quarrel with you being here, and we'll happily see you fed.
Oh, thank you so much.
Which way did he go?
He took off to the northeast.
Would we know it was that way?
Not Kovakimaru. Kovakimaru's northwest of you.
Okay.
So going strictly northeast from where you're at right now. Well, you can make a survival check because you barely know your way around from that.
Okay. Survival, huh?
Yes.
Let's see how it goes.
D&D Beyond taking its time today.
7.
Yeah, I mean, you know from the conversations that you've been having that you're headed northwest, but you don't know anything about what might be to the northeast.
Okay. I'll just make a mental note.
Excellent. You all make your way in, and they begin taking the fish down, and you see a group of them sort of gather near the well and start like a central cooking fire.
We do have some meat to offer for food, right?
We do have some wallahog meat that we should use before it goes bad.
Excellent. They say, "Oh, we haven't had wallahog in some time. It's something of a delicacy around these parts."
Oh, please partake.
Might be more of a delicacy now.
Well, thank you. And they start cooking. So you seek Kovo Kimmeru. What takes you all the way to the big city?
I forget what they're after, but I'm looking to advance some of my magical knowledge.
Oh, I see. You are a practitioner then. Are you a wizard of some sort?
I am.
I see. I in my travels have moved alongside a few of your kind. And I do know that the tower at Kovo Kimmeru is one of the most learned institutions in all of Fenrilik. I don't mess about with that sort of thing. My gifts are from the spirits.
Yeah, I believe that is where I'm headed. What exactly do you do then?
Well, I'm a druid. I give my worship to the mountain shaker.
Is that familiar to me? The mountain street steamer?
Mountain shaker.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a religion check. It's DC 10.
Could I make that as well?
Yeah, you can all make one.
15.
To religion?
Yes.
13.
I decline to make religion checks.
19.
Excellent. Those of you.
I'm trying. 6.
All right. Those of you who got a 10 or better recognize Mountain Shaker as one of the names of Kadum, the Titan who is currently buried at the base of the Blood Sea.
Do you think he was friends with the Titan on my back?
Oh, Titans weren't generally friends with anyone.
Oh, okay.
You know that Kadum was said to have rent asunder the landmass that was originally, when Skarn was all one piece of land, that it was Kadum who rent it asunder and created the continents. You also, those of you who made the check, know that Kadum was killed rather bloodily by the gods, had his heart ripped out, and was chained at the base of the Blood Sea during the Divine War.
Is Titan worship fairly common in this continent?
Why, yes. What else would we worship?
Oh,
Well, and worship, I suppose, is a strong term. We revere, we honor. We do not ascribe supplication necessarily to the Titans, so much as we recognize their power, and we pursue the might to claim that power for our people.
that's very fair. It's an honorable way of going about things.
Most of my gifts come from interacting with the spirits around us rather than the Titans themselves. For
Very
example, it was my duty to ensure that the catch of the day was properly thanked for its sacrifice prior to the meal prep.
So would I be right in assuming that you are kind of in charge of this tribe here?
I, alongside my counterpart, Kleena, we are in charge of the spiritual development of the tribe, but we don't have any sort of governing body per se. We're just a small fishing village.
Oh. I like it here. If it wasn't so cold, I wouldn't mind being here.
Have you been
That
to Kadana?
cold.
Have you been to what?
The name of the city was Kadan, right?
No, it's a
Oh,
Titan.
Kovo Kimmer.
Kova Kimber.
Isn't it? Yeah. No, you have not been to Kovo Kimmer. Or are you asking if,
Yeah.
if they've been?
Specifically
she-
the Druid lady.
She says, "Oh, in my youth, I visited Kovo Kimmer once." Yes.
Would you happen to know if they have a teleportation circle? Do you
I would assume
remember?
there's one at the Wizard's Tower, but I never viewed it.
Fair enough. I was hoping there was a way we could shorten this journey.
If shortening the journey through magic is what you seek, you may wish to detour if you stop in the village of Eschek. You may be able to find someone there who has the knowledge you seek.
Where's Krizekacek?
It's about 6 days travel due west of here.
Seems like it's still in the direction of where we're headed anyway. Couldn't hurt to maybe stop by.
You would
We're
add a
going
few-
north.
If you found no assistance there, it would only add a few days to the overall travel to Kovakin.
But it could cut it in half. I don't know. Seems worth it.
Yes, the humans there who run the government are mostly of the Felder tribe. They are no friends to the flame bearers, so you should see no difficulty if word of your deeds has gotten to them. I don't expect it will be an impediment to you.
That's good to know. Thank you for everything.
Of course. We have nothing if we don't have our hospitality. It is a cold and lonely place that we have chosen to live. We get by through the warmth of community.
Nice.
Which reminds me, you must all be suffering terribly. She starts calling out, bring more wood for the fire. We have sensitive folk among us.
You're very kind people, I say to the group.
Are they still around?
I'll step off to the side, like a little ways away, and start playing something, just like far enough away that I'm not like, like playing on top of conversation. But
several of the Eschek sort of gather around as you're playing. Go ahead and make a performance check.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
That did not help much. 16.
It's still not bad. You're definitely attracting their attention. A few of them run into their homes and emerge with various wind instruments. and start joining you. They appear at first glance to be made of either ice or crystal. You can't quite tell.
Oh, actually, if there is anything we could trade, if they have crystal craft here, I could use a couple of components for a new spell.
Joan says, you require specific crystals?
A piece of amber, glass, or a crystal rod.
I see. I believe we can provide you a crystal rod. What would you offer in exchange for that?
I'm taking a look at my random backpack stuff here. They don't seem to have skin on which to tattoo, correct? Because that is...
They look to be made out of ice. However, you do notice, like, as they're interacting with tools and touching things, that their icy flesh has give like normal skin. You're not entirely sure you couldn't tattoo them. None of them seem to be inked. A few of them have patterns painted on their faces and bodies, but none of them appear to have tattoos. It's very clear to you that they're external body paint.
I'll mention, I'll like flare the mage armor spell, which should like activate all the inks in my body to kind of glow, and say, I could offer my services, but never have tried to put ink on skin like yours before. It would be an honor.
You are a tattoo artist.
I am.
Some of our tribes in the north practice tattooing. I could ask around if anyone in the village would be interested. You do have some interesting markings. I assume those are culturally significant to your people.
Some to my own, some to my friends.
I
think I have a couple designs that were like from the why can't I think of the name of the ghost armor?
The Broadreach Elves?
The ghost armor people.
Oh, the Hollow Legionnaires.
Yeah, the Hollow Legionnaires.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'll ask around and see if anyone is interested. Until then, eat. And they provide you with plates of food.
Absolutely.
You chow down. It's very well prepared. It's very tasty. They seem to have a surprising array of spices for being in a frozen area. At least the flavor indicates that. After about 15 or so minutes, she returns and says, there are two of our number who would like to try these markings. They have designs that they would like you to try to work with in mind. Is that something you could do?
Yeah, assuming everyone else is fine waiting for a little while.
Yeah, by all means, I'm fine.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check using your tattooing proficiency.
It's plus an additional proficiency because of bonuses. So 23. Okay.
Excellent. It takes you about basically the better part of the day to...
My time is quartered with all of the bonuses that I have.
It takes you about 4 hours to perform both tattoos. Upon their completion, you are given a crystal rod. What would the rest of you like to do while Charlong is doing this tattooing and Charlie is jamming out with an impromptu band that has just started?
I avail myself of the generous food on offer.
Excellent. You eat and eat and eat and eat.
I mean, not to a rude extent, but you know, I'll have my fair share.
A healthy intake. They encourage it. One of the commoners speaking to you in Druidic it says, I've met a few people who look like you before, and they've all had voracious appetites.
Oh, yes. We as a people remember when times were lean.
Yes, they told me some strange tales when they came through. Jana looks over and says, "Don't be rude."
Oh no, it's fine. We're also terrible liars. What stories did they tell you?
They said something of a war, that your people were created at the end of a war, and that the lands to the south are torn up in this conflict.
Oh, well, I don't know so much about the creation myth, but yes, the Southlands are still bear the scars of terrible battles.
Is it true that the Titans are destroyed?
Oh, as far as anyone knows and hopes.
Jana pats the person who you're talking to on the knee and says, if the Titans did not exist, we would not be able to function. We would not have food to catch. We would not have a hunt to go on. These are strange tales from a strange land. Pay them little mind.
Yes, we are clearly from very different cultures. But it seems that whatever you worship has provided for you quite well.
She nods. What is Nolo doing during this time?
Who was the? I forgot to. Who was the druid I was talking to?
Jana is the main druid, is doing most of the speaking. She has cast a comprehend language spell so that everyone can talk to her and she can talk to everyone. The rest of the village is all speaking Druidic.
I know you have spells that allow you to manipulate nature, but have you ever come across anything more to do with the time and space around us?
We do not truck with such magics. I know that in Koho Kimmeru, some of the wizards there study these arts. I know when I visited, there was a professor at the tower who was looking at ways of closing the Tobor Gorge that runs alongside Kovo Kimmeru and through half of the continent magically.
Do I know what the gorge is?
Yeah, you probably would have come across this as you're studying Fenrilik. It's a very defining feature. It's according to the scholars that you've studied under or spoken to, it's the largest canyon on Skarn. It's a massive canyon that runs most of the length of the continent.
Why was he trying to close it?
The largest cities are on either side of the gorge. I believe his hope was to help unite Fenrilik into one civilization, which is a noble effort, I suppose, but means very little to me and my people.
Interesting.
Yes, I spoke with him briefly of it one night in an inn, but such magics are beyond my grasp and frankly beyond my concern.
That's fair.
And
Thanks
what is
for indulging me anyway.
Of course. And what is Lulu doing during this time?
Well, I don't really have to eat, so I think I'm just probably like observing and looking around and kind of thinking about what that guy could be doing who went off to the northeast.
Very good. As night begins to fall, Joan offers to set aside some quarters for you all to stay. She says, I really wouldn't recommend trying to set out until morning.
We would graciously accept.
We will set you aside some quarters in the cave. It is much warmer than any of our sleeping quarters.
I would imagine.
There's an area near the hot springs where you can set up your camp.
Oh, nice.
Very well. She gets out of the way and lets you finish your evening. Once the tattoos are done and everything, are you all planning on staying in that cave, or are you going to do something different?
Yeah, Ifrin doesn't really have to worry about staying warm, so she just looks for whatever is cozy.
Okay. Were you going to say something, Charlie?
I don't know. I don't know of a reason not to stay in there unless we have some reason to be wary. I mean, can we set up some sort of note? Well, does somebody not sleep? Do we have somebody that doesn't sleep? Or can we do watches? It makes me nervous to just...
I can cast a spell called Alarm that I can set around us. So if anybody comes in the vicinity, I get a telepathic alert.
Okay, because I don't want to disrespect them by setting up a hut, but I also don't want to be a sucker.
Sure. Excellent. You cast Alarm. And you all get a night of restful sleep with full bellies. Are any of you going to try to stay up and do any sort of watch? Do any of you not sleep?
I don't sleep. I will stay up.
Okay. As you are about halfway through the night, an owl flies into the cave.
The owls are not what they seem.
Oh, that's the owl that talks to us in our sleep or whatever.
He stops out and perches outside of the alarm.
I'm just gonna stare at it. I don't know how I feel about the owl yet.
Ithrin, as you're sleeping, you see yourself wandering in a cave. Up ahead of you, you can see the eggs that you've been tasked with, or the seeds. I'm sorry, that you've been tasked with gathering.
I thought I almost found the village clutch.
No. I apologize. I misspoke. The seeds that you were charged with gathering. You see them. all sitting next to one another on like a rocky outcropping. As you're drawing nearer to them, you hear a voice beside you. It says, I've been looking into this. And as you look over, you see the man about your height, even has vaguely the same outline as a Slytherin. But instead of features or flesh, you just see like the endless void of space where he stands.
Do I know you?
I am Arius, god of dreams.
Oh, hello. Thank you for gracing my dream, but what can I do to help you?
It is not me who needs help, little Slytherin, it is you.
I am pretty well in over my head. I'm not gonna lie about that.
I visited your allies, or my herald has, and we've traveled through the dreams of many holy people.
Not holy, I'm just threadbare.
We've come to the understanding that what you've been tasked with is of great concern to the gods.
Okay.
We believe you've been placed in a challenging position, a somewhat impossible choice, if you will. Now, I am not permitted. He starts walking closer towards the seeds. By the divine truce, I'm not permitted to dictate to you what you should and should not do.
Can I ask what the consequences will be of each choice?
Oh, yes, that I can provide you.
I would very much like to know, please.
He sets his hand on your face. And when he does, you see your vision, like the world starts shrinking at your feet, almost as if you're flying up into the sky. And you can see the whole of Skarn underneath you. You see Nolo standing on a sandy desert plain as a sandstorm blows through and the grains of sand freeze in the air, dropping to the ground, turning the entire place into a frosted wasteland. You see Charlie standing in Shelzar, waist deep in snow. You see Charlong wading through an icy river with what looked like frozen, almost like humanoid dragons lining either side of the river. And off in the distance, as large as a mountain, you see what you can only assume is some sort of a draconic creature, likewise frozen. And you see Lulu in a swamp, waist deep in the swamp water, frozen in place, basically trying to break her way free through this swamp that is frozen around her.
I see. Is there a way to mitigate these consequences?
He says there is another path, but it comes at great cost to you.
Well, I don't want half the world to freeze to death.
Oh, perhaps you misinterpreted my vision. That is the entirety of the world.
Oh, right, but like the people here know how to deal with winter. Well, I don't want anyone to freeze to death. So, what do I have to do?
Unfortunately, I fear you've sworn an oath to your god. The only way for you to avoid this fate is to break that oath.
Right, that will definitely have consequences.
Why don't you go ahead and make me a religion check if you don't mind?
I'm so bad at this. Oh, but I rolled a nat 20.
Excellent. As you start thinking about this, you realize that if you're very, very lucky, you would just be smited. What's far more likely, however, is that you would become what is known as an unhallowed. The unhallowed, the lore states that sometimes, maybe once in 100 years, a child favored by the gods is born. The baby seems destined for greatness, stronger, swifter, smarter, more beautiful than any other. Most of these children achieve their destiny and change the world for the better. But it is a fundamental truth of the universe: the gods expect much from those who receive their greatest gifts. Sometimes that trust is betrayed. With a single act of treachery, a blessed individual might spurn the gods and waste their gifts. Such a violation of trust earns the eternal enmity of the gods. Such powerful individuals do not pass into the afterlife easily. They cling to the world of the living by sheer tenacity, knowing what punishments await them beyond. These tormented spirits are known as the unhallowed, since they have been rejected by the gods. Their malign influence can destroy entire kingdoms as an unhallowed worms their way into the ruling family or some other position of power. Even today, rumors fly that the pirate lord Tancred the Tortured, King Virduk, or perhaps young Queen Galita is unhallowed.
Right. That's fun.
He says, a choice will come for you soon. Choose wisely.
I will do my best.
He is gone. You're in the cave alone with the seeds in front of you.
I
Did you
want
wake
to
up calmly or like abruptly?
Still not awake, still sleeping.
Yeah, so if I'm
Oh,
still in the
sorry.
dream, I want to try and examine the seeds to see if there's maybe some sort of any sort of information or insight I can gain about them.
Sure, go ahead and make we'll do a nature check.
19.
Excellent. As you're looking them over, they seem to be no natural construction whatsoever. They appear to be crafted completely of magic. Furthermore, you notice symbols written on each of them in Druidic, the same symbols in Druidic runes. And you realize that these seeds bear the true name of Freya on them.
And Freya is the Winter Queen?
Yep, the Snow Queen, your goddess.
All right, I am going to memorize that because knowing something's true name is always a good thing.
Sure. You commit it to memory. You also notice a distinct lack of any evidence whatsoever that Genev had anything to do with their creation.
Okay, I might need to ask her for help. That's probably something I need to do when I'm awake.
All right. You wake up. How you wake up is up to you. If you wake up in a panic or if you wake up calmly.
I think Ithrin's eyes just pop open. She rolls onto her back, just staring at the ceiling, and is like, oh shit.
The owl flies out. The rest of you start to regain consciousness as well.
Once everyone is awake, I'm going to tell them, I have a very large problem.
That being
Problem.
So if I complete this mission that my goddess has given me, everyone's gonna freeze to death in a terrible, terrible winter. And if I don't do what she asks, I mean, like, that's bad. We've all heard the stories. I'll become one of them.
a goddess having selfish ulterior motives. Who would have thought?
That's a fair point.
You can't really trust any of them, to be honest.
Right, but I'm still stuck.
If I had met you before you made that pact, I would have warned you against this.
So noted, but here we are in the here and now with this problem that I cannot wish away.
What if a
Yet.
different god takes them from you? Could she be mad at them instead?
So I don't actually know. It was a dream god who spoke to me. He mentioned something about a truce. I don't think, I mean, maybe one of them would be willing to, but then that seems like it might restart like a whole bunch of wars and everybody will suffer just as bad as if it was eternal winter anyway.
I don't know.
Guess.
Eternity's a long damn time.
Yes, it is.
Like eternity is a lot longer than a war.
Is there a place we could maybe research something to give us insight on this, or?
You were tasked with planting these seeds around the continent, but should someone sabotage this plan, you didn't break your oath.
Oh, I mean, theoretically, yes, but then I think whoever did sabotage the plan, Freya will be very mad at that person.
Oh, I don't have any problems with the gods being mad at me.
You are very brave. Okay. Well, my first inclination is to ask Deneuve for help, because this would definitely throw off the natural cycle of things. I don't know if she'll be able to do anything, but I just wanted to let everybody know in case anyone has an idea, alternate plan, or something that doesn't involve me dying or everyone else dying.
There are also several worshippers along everywhere that have, in opposition to this plan and a god that they owe allegiance to. Should that get out that you are searching for these things, they would also probably be searching for them to dispose of them.
You know, that's a really good idea, but I don't think that's anything that I can personally do. I'm gonna try and figure out some way to convince her that a frozen world is not in her interest either, because, like, if all of her followers freeze to death, that's bad.
Well, I would imagine her followers wouldn't freeze to death.
I mean, we still need to eat, and if all the farmers are ice cubes, then okay. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for your help.
Indeed. And with that, a couple of the villagers come in and in Druidic tell you there has been breakfast prepared to warm your bellies for the journey.
Perfect. Because I spent the whole night in the hot spring, which I just start drying off and putting the furs back on.
Excellent. You chow down. Is there anything else that you want to do before you leave town?
I'm good.
Got a little supplies. We're good.
All right. Are you going to head to the nearby settlement, or are you going to continue on your way to Kovakimra?
I think the settlement was the plan, right? Only had a few more days if we can't teleport, so.
Yeah, if I recall correctly. Also, Ithrin could use the extra couple days to think about her choices.
Excellent. You start making your way. Go ahead and give me another survival check, please.
$18.
Glorious. You have started to really grow accustomed to recognizing the threats inherent in traveling through Fenrilik. I will need everyone to go ahead and give me just one Constitution saving throw against exhaustion due to cold. So if you are immune to cold damage, you don't need to make it. I know that Alland has advantage due to clothing. And I think if you're resistant to cold, you have advantage.
$13.
I have advantage on con saves, but I forgot why.
Because you're undead.
Okay. I'm glad you know why, Travis.
Nolo got a 17, Allen got an 18.
Excellent. You all may your way through without suffering any exhaustion due to the cold climate. And lo and behold, as you get closer to the settlement, you come across several of those sets of tracks that you were noticing, the large mammoth-like tracks.
Avoiding them.
And eventually come to where you see one of the creatures ahead of you, headed your direction. And you can see there's like a howdah on its back that has several humans in it.
We're definitely getting off the road and letting it pass.
As they spot you, one of them shouts in Druidic, "Good morning."
Good morning. That is an impressive animal you have.
This is one of our Feldir.
It's extremely impressive.
Thank you. Are you headed to the village?
That's the plan, yes.
I see. Well, if you just follow our tracks, it'll take you straight there. We're heading out for today's hunt.
Good luck on your hunt.
Thank you.
I'm being super polite to the person driving the mammoth.
And you can see this is a mammoth, but it has like giant, like moose antlers that dig down into the snow and create sort of that plowed look as it moves forth.
But it's definitely being polite.
Seems to use them as a type of balancing apparatus. It keeps the Feldir upright. You continue along the trail for about another 2 hours or so, and eventually come to the edges of the village. When you arrive, there's a couple of guards at the gate. One human, one Eschek, and they say to you in Druidic, "State your name and business."
My name is Ithrin. These are my companions, and we are here to trade.
Can I just say also, as we were walking up to the village, I casted comprehend languages.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So you can understand the discussion. They say, "Welcome. Enjoy your trade in peace."
Thank you so much.
And they step aside and let you into the city proper. This is a somewhat sizable village. There's about 700 people live here. You see humans, Eschek, a couple of Slytherin, and some dwarves kind of mulling about the town. You can definitely see there's a tower constructed of wood that has a sign out front. Has a crest. It appears to be some sort of a magic school. Other than that, there is an inn and a few various homes. Is there any particular place you would like to visit first?
We're looking for a teleportation circle. I think that's our best bet.
Yeah, someone who knows how to get to.
Kova Cameroon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Really?
No, you're fine. You begin making your way toward the tower. When you arrive at the tower, the doors are open. You make your way inside, and you're greeted by a human in heavy robes, but it is remarkably warm in here for the environment. Surprisingly comfortable.
Hello.
This is greetings. What brings you here?
I believe we heard that you all might have the ability to help us get to Kovakimmeru a little bit faster via teleportation circle, possibly.
We do have a circle here, and we do have the appropriate configurations on file. What business do you have there?
What exactly is the name of the wizards or the school that I'm searching for again?
Give me half a second to look that up. The Mages Guild in Kovakimmeru is what you're looking for.
I'd wish to study with the Mages Guild for a bit to further my magical practices.
I see. And there is no finer institute of learning on the continent.
What I've heard.
Well, are you requesting our services in teleporting you? That is a very costly proposition.
How much would that be?
To move you? Well, we don't really truck in coin here so much, but we would take, say, a month's worth of labor scribing scrolls for us.
So extending our stay much more than we thought would be.
Now, that is, of course, unless you possess the knowledge to use the circles yourself, in which case we could perhaps barter for something more material, like, say, a magical item.
We are capable of moving ourselves if you can give us the runes for the circle in Kovakimmeru.
I see. Then what might you have to offer in trade?
I have hair from a flame priest. I wrote that down.
An
I have a lot of it.
interesting curiosity, but not quite what we would require.
I have like a piece of like that bone from that Titan. I have like several pieces I can part with like one of them.
Interesting. What else have you got? Do you have any items that have inborn power?
None that I'm willing to part with right now.
Yeah.
I see. Well, access to our circles and our library of coordinates isn't something we generally give lately. A week, perhaps, of scribing scrolls, if you prefer labor to goods.
second here.
How long is
You all
the
able
rest
to
of the
see the
journey?
map now?
What was
I was making sure you're able to see the map now. How long is the rest of the journey from your current location?
Yeah.
Probably about a month. And that's a month of moving over terrain. That's provided you don't run into any weather issues, monsters, other sort of nastiness.
Either way, a week is still cutting us a lot of time. Do you need specifically like you need exactly a week of it, or what, do you need like a certain amount done?
7 days of work.
7 days of work in general.
Or I apologize, 8 days of work because it's Skarn. Now, if you have multiple people within among your group who can service us as scribes, we can cut that time down.
I can. They're just asking us to basically write stuff down, right? Like magical stuff.
They're asking you to create scrolls. So a wizard could do it, a sorcerer could do it, a warlock could do it, a bard could do it. Druids don't make scrolls, and a barbarian's not going to be able to do much.
I have beautiful handwriting, Travis.
I'm certain you do. The familiarity with imbuing magic into it is the problem.
Seems to me like it's still a good deal. It's a month of travel versus a few days of work.
I'm fine with that.
I'm just gonna attempt to sell my self again as saying something along the lines of, if there's anyone who is looking to scribe a scroll to their skin, it's more my speed.
Duly noted. I'll ask around.
Perhaps we could do something and you could keep the profits in exchange for help getting where we need to go.
You find there are 4 wizards throughout the tower who are interested in having tattoos performed. They're willing to provide the spell that they wish to have done. It will take you a little bit of time to design to the specifications of the spell that they're giving you, but you can cut that time down. So you can basically bring it down to 2 work days. If Charlie and Nolo are working on actual scrolls during that time and you're doing tattoos, you can cut it down to 2 days.
Seems like a fair deal to me.
What would Lulu and Ithrin like to do during those 2 days of work time?
Ithrin would like to leave the settlement and go find some like primordial wild overgrown place and just try and commune with the Nev. Maybe she'll take her calls now.
All right.
I'll go with her. I feel like when Ithrin goes by herself, it doesn't go well.
That's fair.
Excellent. So let's have a spellcasting ability check from our bard and our wizard, if you don't mind.
Spellcasting ability.
Yep.
Oh. Just my intelligence modifier, right? For me?
Yep, just your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
And you can add your proficiency bonus as well.
Okay.
So it'd be like a spell attack roll.
I'm gonna use my inspiration. No, didn't matter. Okay, so it's gonna be. What did I roll? Where'd it go? Wait, what? Where am I?
Did you roll on?
So yeah, I rolled a basic intelligence, so it's 14 plus 9, so 23.
Okay. And then what about
22? Sorry.
it'd be 14 plus your proficiency bonus because your int's already in there.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be 14. So 8. So 18.
18. Excellent. And what did Charlie get?
Oh, I didn't roll it because I spaced out.
It'd be charisma plus proficiency bonus.
Sorry.
Totally fine.
30 something. I don't know. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
excellent. So your crafting of scrolls goes very smoothly. You're easily able to scribe over the spells that you are given, and you can copy them. You can copy it into your spell book as well if you wish, Nola. And you can make copies. You can add these to your spells known if you wish, Charlie.
What spells were they?
There is a 3rd level spell called Fracture.
Oh, okay.
Its components are verbal, somatic, and material. It requires a small piece of bone. You select a creature within range you can see and utter the word suffer as you snap the bone. Target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or one bone in its body breaks, causing 2d6 slashing damage as the bone rips the flesh around it.
Boy.
And you roll a d10 when you cast it to see which bone you break.
Is that already on the list of spells that I could add, or did I have to just do that manually?
It should be in. You'll probably have to add it manually, but it should be in the homebrew, I assume, in D&D
Okay.
Beyond. If not, let me know and I'll make sure I get it added in before next session.
Okay.
The other spell that you're making scrolls of is called Rupture. And this is essentially fracture on crack.
Is that 3rd level also?
That is 5th level. And this causes 5d6 slashing damage as you fracture their skull. And its material component is a small skull. So like a small animal skull. The tattoos that you are making, Charlene, you may also learn the spell because you're going to be performing the tattoo a lot. And that is a 6th level spell called Mesos Resistance. When you cast the spell, a 100-foot radius centered on you is saturated with magical energy, empowering arcane spells that are cast within it. Arcane spellcasters within the area or who enter the area during the spell's duration must select a single spell they can cast at each of their spell slot levels. For each time any such spell has been cast within the affected area during the duration, the spell receives a +1 bonus to its save DC or its to hit if it requires an attack roll when it is cast again. Mesos Resonance, sorry, not Resistance. So effectively, and then if an arcane spellcaster attempts to cast a spell that they did not select, the spell fails automatically without effect or explanation and eats the spell slot. So basically, when you enter the spell and enter the area or cast the spell, you list what spells you're going to use, one for each slot you have available, and you can cast that spell super good and nothing else.
But every time you cast that spell, it gets better while the
Right.
It's like spell battery.
Right. You're like supercharging a certain set of
You
spells.
could even probably get a cantrip firing off a lot of
Right.
plus to hit there.
Right. So those are what you spend the 2 days working on. Go ahead and give me a survival check as you head out into the wilds there, if you don't mind, Ithrin.
Survival is 19.
Excellent. You make your way out. Now, in terms of finding somewhere that is primordial and overgrown, very challenging. You find a cave that has a lot of lichen and mushrooms and whatnot in it. That's about the best you're going to do.
Somewhere where there's a lot of things growing wild. That works.
All right. What would you like to try to do to commune with Deneuve?
Oh, I imagine that as a druid, I know a bunch of just nature rituals.
I can help too. I am very naturey.
Yeah, and so I'll probably do a little bit of caretaking work.
Okay.
Around the cave, like clear away anything that's dead or dying, and like take care of parasites and etc. And and just like try to use my channel divinity and just hope.
Excellent. Do you have any spells that you would like to augment this with, either of you? I'm thinking in terms
I
of
commune with nature.
You can cast Commune with Nature as a ritual?
I can.
Okay, that will help. Any contact
That's an
with a
at-will
plane?
spell. I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, but you can only cast it as a ritual, right?
Does it have like an R next to the spell?
It does not have, but it has a time, so I imagine time means it's a ritual.
Oh, what's the casting time?
11 minutes.
Yeah, it's a ritual.
Okay.
So you start performing the ritual as Ithrin is cleaning and performing this sort of also ritual to commune with the land. You're going to spend a channel divinity.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll percentile for me, please.
Oh goodness, here we go.
Are we lucky? I don't
35.
know.
Excellent. As Lulu is finishing up, Lulu, you feel your awareness shunted to the back of your mind. Like you're there, you're aware of what your body's doing, but you're very aware that you are no longer in the driver's seat of it.
Oh, shit.
Lulu looks over at you, Ithrin, and says, "Why have you disturbed my slumber, priestess?"
Oh, thank you for. So there's a problem, which is really not your problem, but I'm more just looking for any sort of advice. I have started working for the Snow Queen when she gave me this amulet, which I really didn't know anything about. I really should have looked into before I put it on. But anyway, it's on, and now I'm working for her. She wants me to get some snow seeds and plant them in places that don't experience winter, which normally I would be okay with, because if there's something supernaturally stopping winter from happening, that should probably get fixed. But last night, the god of dreams showed up in my dreams and showed me what would happen, and essentially no winter becomes too much winter and everybody freezes to death. That's also bad.
I apologize, priestess. You have been deceived.
By whom?
By Freya.
I'm figuring that out pretty quick.
This sounds of a proposal of hers she made to the gods in the aftermath of the war. As Hadrad realigned the stars and placed the calendar under its new order, Freya demanded that the season of winter be able to touch all the shores of Skarn. But there was too much damage to the seasons to allow the cold to pass into the tropics, the areas in Termana and the Dragonlands, which know no snow. Even the southern parts of Gelspad. Because of the way the world was rebuilt, winter could not touch those lands. Freya begged and pleaded, attempted to get me involved, attempted to get Enkili involved. But at the end, the victors decided that a functioning world was more important than a world in which the Snow Queen felt she'd received fair treatment.
Right, yeah. So I kind of don't want to tell her to fuck off, but I also don't really want to do the thing she's telling me to do.
If you refuse this task, you will pay a great price that even I cannot protect you from.
All right.
And more to the point, your refusal of the task does not prevent someone else from completing it.
Okay.
If you truly wish to protect Skarn from this fate, simple refusal is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
You will need to stand in direct defiance of your goddess.
Okay.
The seeds must be destroyed.
Yup. All right. Well, thank you for letting me know. I have some decisions to make.
I understand, and I appreciate your honesty. I must return to my slumber, but before I do, the seeds are magical and divine in nature. They will not simply thaw if placed into boiling water. In order to destroy them, you must slay a Thulkin and bathe the seeds in its heart's blood for 8 days.
Sure. Yes, of course I do. I will absolutely do. Yes, I will. Thanks.
I must now return to my slumber. I release this abomination from my control.
Thanks.
And Lulu, you snap back into control of your body.
Did you?
Was I there for that though?
Hear all
Oh yeah,
that?
you heard all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing's
I
ever.
regret hanging out with you guys more and more every day. This is like, we've come too far. Can't go back now. All right.
Yeah, we should probably go let the others know. Killing a Vulcan. What could go wrong?
As you
Do I know what that is?
a Falcon? Yes. Falcons, they're actually relatively common near, put it this way, tales of them are relatively common in Shelzar. Very few people have ever actually met one and lived to tell about it. But there are rumored to be several who make lairs in the desert near Shelzar.
Okay.
A Falcon They're one of the few races that the Iron Father Thulkus created intentionally. He drew these monstrosities from his iron cauldron and shaped them into living smiths to churn out mighty magical weapons for the Divine War. No one knows how many yet remain, but their numbers have certainly dwindled in the era after the Titans' War. A Thulkin is a fiery creature seemingly composed of rock and magma, glowing with a dreadful heat. Its giant humanoid body is strangely featureless and sexless, with a marbled black, rocky hide that's constantly cooling and reheating. Its white-hot eyes seethe with hatred and power.
That sounds fun. I also don't think we're going to find those here.
You're pretty sure for that you'll have to go back to Shelzar.
Yeah.
You make your journey back. It's relatively uneventful, and by the time you arrive back, the others are wrapping up their tasks.
I will explain everything that I just got from Denev. So, long story short, I have to go kill a Thulkin. I'm not going to ask you to kill one for me, but if you wanted to come along, I wouldn't chase you away.
I'll come.
You do need to get the seeds first.
You gotta
Yes.
get those.
And as far as you were told, those are in Sobor Gorge below Kovokimmer.
More reason to get there as fast as possible.
All right. With that being said, when you're completed, the wizards bring you a scroll case. In that scroll case are 5 diagrams. These are the teleportation circles that we have recorded in our personal library. Three of them lead to destinations here on the continent. Someone might want to mark this down.
Keep track.
One leads to Kovokimmer. One leads to a cave outside of Stasium, Stasiam. And one leads to the settlement of Zacharich in the far, far north of the continent.
Why does Stasium sound familiar?
That's the port city. That's where you were supposed to be going.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
assume we also have theirs here, right? Like
That's not in the list, but you can write it down.
yeah. What what was the name of this town again?
This town is, excuse me while I do this real quick. I went too far. This is Kurzakashin. I said Kurzakashek last time. It's Kurzakashin. Kerzcoschen. It's the home of the Felder tribe.
The Shelzarian circle that we know.
Right. And the other 2 circles not on this continent. And Zacharich is an Eschek settlement, the oldest surviving Eschek settlement, far too remote for most other species to ever travel to. In the very, very, very northern tip of Fenrilik.
Might be a good place to hide someday.
The other two are, one is a temple of Idra in Albadia, which is the very, very northern end of Gelspad. Idra is the demigoddess of fertility and secrets. And the last one leads to the city of Hollowfaust.
That's where we just came from, right?
No, you're thinking of Glividotel, which is where the evil necromancers are. Hollowfaust is the good necromancers.
The circle that we knew in Shelzar, is that do you need to be a member of a guild or something to know that?
No, it will teleport you into one of the government houses of Shelzar.
I will offer that for their collection if they wish.
They take it. And say, this could have shaved a day off your work.
I'll never turn down an opportunity to practice my art. Though I
Very well.
would have appreciated it.
With those in mind, are you then going to teleport to Kovokimmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Who's going to burn the spell slot?
I can, it's fine.
All right. You activate the spell. Energy surges up around you, and when the energy drops, you see yourselves in what appears to be the basement of a mage tower. Several wizards, human, Eschek, and Slytherin, are gathered around. They all sort of seem to be standing in wait, like they noticed the teleportation circle was going off and went to check it out.
They all seem to speak Druidic around here, I see.
And when upon seeing you, one of them, one of the Slytherin, says in Slytherin, "Greetings and welcome to Kovokimmer." And that's where we'll wrap things up for this week. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's session?
It was great.
Thank you.
No fighting. Nobody died. Nobody had to die.
Nobody had to die yet. That's true.
I mean, I got some real bad news.
You did get some not great news.
Give it time.
So you're all going to have to come to a decision. Am I correct in assuming that right now your plan is get the seeds, head back down to Shelzar and destroy them?
Yes, that is Ithrin's plan. And then just sort of deal with whatever consequences happen as a result of that choice.
Excellent.
I just want to say that, Haiku didn't think twice about disobeying this god and immediately was like, yeah, screw my life. No apocalypse. Didn't think about it.
That is true. Haiku did not sweat over that in the slightest. Well, this has been an extremely pleasant and pleasurable experience for me. Always have fun running with you all. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and to enjoy this story with me. I want to thank the audience as well, whether you're watching live or in VOD. And I do want to remind everyone that we are playing Scarred Lands. We are also playing in the Frostlands of Fenrilik, which is available right now in POD and PDF via the Sluritian Vault. It is a complete campaign guideline for running in the lands of Fenrilik, but also a resource for Sluritian Vault creators if you want to make your own Fenrilik adventures and whatnot to build on. I've thrown the link to that up in the chat. And once again, I am Travis Legge. My pronouns are he, they, and when I'm not running games, I'm writing them, including some work on Frostlands of Fenrilik, which Mike also did a lot of the art for, almost all the art for, along with Melena. And yeah, let's do our outros real quick, and then we'll be gone until next time. So let's do them in the reverse order. Let's start off with Lulu. Please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, pronouns, and anything you want to promote.
Oh, hi, I am Allie. I'm playing Lulu. We're both she, her. I don't have anything to promote ever. I promote these people because they're awesome, and I enjoy playing with every one of you. I had fun. I was listening to the story today. But I was really into it.
Well, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself, and I'm sorry I called you an abomination. Next up, Charlie, please give us your pertinence.
Charlie, she, her, Sarah. I'm Sarah, she, her, and I don't know. I don't really have much going on. I'm playing on Twitch a lot. I've been playing Phasmophobia mostly, and then what's the name? Conrad Stevenson's Paranormal PI, which is an entirely too long title for a very slow game that is really fun, but super slow. So you should check out my Twitch. That's about it.
Definitely do. And I poke my head in every once in a while to join with some Phasmo as well. So lots of fun playing that. I've thrown that link up in the chat. Next up, Nolo, please give us your pertinence.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Mutant, playing Nolo, both of us, he, him. In real life, I am a comic artist from Chicago. Like Travis said, me and Melena, who's not here today, did the artwork for Frostlands of Fenrilik, so you should pick that up because it was really cool to work on that, and I want to work on more D&D related books. So follow me everywhere at Mike Mutant.
Awesome, rock and roll. Next up, Ithrin, your pertinence, please.
Hello, I've been playing Ithrin, the cleric druid, who is gonna have a real bad time real soon. You can follow me at Stolen Fires. I'm on the Burning Bird app. I'm over on Twitch, Instagram, and yeah. So on my Twitch this Friday, we're running a Dune game. And then on Monday, I've got Dragon Age tabletop RPG and Corrosive Strahd using the She is the Ancient mod. So it's all a lot of fun. Come check it out.
Nice. Awesome. And I've thrown the link to that channel up in the chat as well. Please go over there and follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And last but not least, that leaves us with Charlung. Please give us your pertinence.
Hey there, I'm Corey, aka Narf on the interwebs, playing Charlung, both they, them. And yeah, I work on a video game called Caves of Cud. It's pretty fun. You should check it out. And also, just because I really like advertising fun games you might enjoy if you're into like simulator games, Dwarf Fortress is amazing. You should definitely check it out.
Dwarf Fortress, definitely give that a look. I guess we will be back here in 2 weeks' time. But I also did want to take a moment to point out that the channel will be returning on Saturday at looks like 4 p.m. Eastern for a session 0 with Comrade Bubbles in the guides chair of Realms of Pugmire 2nd edition. So this will be it's a good chance to check that out in the lead up to the Kickstarter, get a look at what the system looks like for 2E. And I highly recommend everyone go give that a look. That is Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. Like I said, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Until then, please make sure to take care of yourselves and each other, wash your hands, get your shots, all that fun stuff, because we want to make sure we see you here again real soon. Take care, everybody, and have a beautiful night.